Hello, my wonderful Aquarians. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of your love life. So it's going to be your general love reading for the week here. So pretty much whatever comes out for you guys. Okay. And by the way, guys, I did have to restart your reading, quite a few times here. So I feel like there could be some sort of distractions, maybe even interruptions in this connection this week, or something could feel delayed. Okay, that's just what I'm picking up on intuitively. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we have the Despair card. And it is the card number 32, which reduces to 5. So there's definitely like a challenge or an obstacle in the way here. It seems to me that this is someone who is, thinking about you very heavily, but there could be some sort of visions that they are kind of stuck in. Like there's something here that they're thinking about, but it doesn't seem like the reality of the situation. It seems like a vision that they have in mind, or, an outcome that they have in mind here. With despair, in this card, there is a sign that reads not hiring. So this could be someone who has recently, become unemployed, or they lost their job, that sort of thing. Or it could just be someone who feels very, very defeated, feeling challenged, by this connection, feeling defeated, thinking about you, but missing you. There's some sort of sorrow that they're feeling this week. So let's see what's going on here. Okay. I'm hearing I don't know what to do. Okay, so I don't know how that's going to resonate for you or with you, but I am hearing that we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. Behind the Empress is the Eight of Cups. Well, I definitely see someone viewing you in a very independent energy, okay? And I'm getting a very specific message about this person feeling like you have walked away or you're detaching from a situation because you have learned something about yourself. So that's very specific. So it could be that maybe, you're in a position where you're realizing, your investment in this connection or what you bring to the table, and maybe you feel like you're not being, met halfway here. But they feel like you're detaching from the situation because of something that you have learned about yourself, or something that is being illuminated to you. It could even be like a shift in perspective. It could be that maybe in the past, when you were connecting with this person, you were in a different space mentally and emotionally, and that could be something that has shifted now. But they are viewing you in a very independent energy. This is someone who is highly attracted to you, but they're also viewing you as detached, or like choosing yourself, putting yourself first. Okay, so I'm going to start off by seeing how you are being viewed this week. Okay. The King of Cups. This is someone who has a lot of love for you, but what I see is them trying to keep their emotions intact or remain very emotionally balanced when it comes to this situation here. So this could be a week where they are thinking about you quite a bit, but they feel like they are really in their feelings, and there may be something here about wanting to feel more balanced prior to approaching you. Okay. The other thing I see in terms of how, that's how they're feeling in the situation, but how they're viewing you is someone who is handling a situation much better than they anticipated, right? So maybe they were expecting a specific reaction from you. Maybe they thought that you were going to respond in a particular way here, but your reaction or your response to this person, the way that you're handling the situation, is something that they did not expect. I also see that this is someone who really wants to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you. And again, there's like they're viewing you as realizing something about yourself, or you were able to figure out a truth on your own. And so you're choosing to move away, or you're choosing to create some sort of distance in the current moment. So we have the Six of Pentacles followed by the Ace of Wands in the challenge position. there's a lot of passion here. And I will say that this is someone who really, wants to, they want to feel excited again, or they want to bring some sort of excitement back into this connection, right? So if things have been at a standstill, or if there's a level of frustration or sorrow, like I mentioned, they're wanting that to change. But when you have the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands in the challenge position, this person also, or what they're feeling challenged by this week, is spreading themselves too thin. Whether it's a case of juggling or giving to multiple situations, trying to maintain so many different things at once, there's a lack of balance in their current environment, and that's what they're feeling challenged by. Now, I also feel with the Six of Pentacles in the challenge position, this could be someone where they may feel like they breadcrumbed you in one way or another, or there's some form of neglect that is being highlighted for them this week. Okay. Okay, my apologies, guys, but you are viewing them in the King of Pentacles energy. You could be dealing with a Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn. But I'm strongly getting that you know that this person is focused on their finances, or they're focused on some sort of growth. Like there could even be a goal that they're working towards. Okay. And you see the potential in this person, in this connection, but you may feel like while you were connecting with them, there was something else that they were focused on. Again, this doesn't have to be another person, but it could be someone who is more focused on their career, or their place of work required most of their focus, where you may have felt like they were neglecting the situation with you. But in the now, you're viewing them as someone who's really focused on their stability, or there could be something to do with their stability that is shifting, and it's also visible to you. Ten of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Something about the situation feels very burdensome or heavy. The Ten of Wands usually comes up in, one's feelings when they feel like they're doing something on their own, okay? Or it's like a very one-sided kind of energy. So some of you feel like you were putting your best foot forward and you were very invested in this connection, although you don't feel like this is someone who is meeting you halfway. And so that could have caused you to want to close out a cycle here. The Ace of Cups is you manifesting new love for yourself, okay? Some of you could be dabbling in something new as you're watching my read here. Energies are fluid, but I think that you want something that doesn't feel forced. There's something about releasing control. There could even be an energy of feeling like, you're constantly needing to go above and beyond for this person, and you're no longer wanting to do that. You're carrying a very heavy load all on your own is what I see, with the Ten of Wands being the first card in your feelings here. I do see that you're acknowledging the emotions that you have for this person, but you're also acknowledging that something just doesn't feel realistic. Something doesn't feel like it's going to be, you're going to be able to maintain it for the long haul. And so you could be questioning your investment or where you want to put your energy moving forward. Temperance, some of you could be dealing with the Sagittarius, and we have the World card. You're allowing a cycle to close out. Now, here's what I see. In the past, right, you could have been the one to kind of try your best to keep this relationship together. Or if there was any sort of ending or distance, you would try your best to communicate with this person, or maybe try to find a solution for the challenges that you guys have faced. But with the Temperance and the World card, that is a very freeing energy in a way, because you're just allowing things to unfold. The World card is usually the end of a cycle, right? So this could be something that, like a karmic cycle, because it is also associated with something feeling very stagnant. So this is a situation where you feel like, I did communicate the changes that I wanted to see, but I was, those changes were not being made. And so again, what I see is you releasing some sort of control, allowing a cycle to close out, and Temperance is a card of healing. Right? And this card indicates healing, but it's usually after acceptance, right? Accepting a situation for what it is and not what you want it to be. And the Temperance is also associated with a spiritual lesson. So there has been, a pattern here in this connection, and you're learning, why there was a pattern, or why the changes, that you wanted to see were not, being made here. I think a lot of your questions are being answered, but it's almost like an energy of, I'm just going to allow things to unfold. I'm just going to let go. If this cycle needs to close out, then that's what needs to happen. And you're going to feel a lot more at ease because there's something about you really wanting this connection to work and you trying your best to keep it together. But maybe you're realizing the more I try, the less I feel like it's working, right? So it's about detaching and releasing control. We have the Four of Cups clarifying the Six of Pentacles. Okay. And the Moon card clarifying the Ace of Wands. And we did see the Empress as well too, right, in the beginning of the spread. So I just wanted to mention that that is a strong energy of, you know, attracting. So it's not an energy of chasing. So for many of you, it's like, I'm not really wanting to be the one to initiate the conversation, or I don't really want to be the glue that's holding this relationship together. I'm going to need to see more action on this person's end. So moving on to the Four of Cups, that's clarifying the Six of Pentacles here. I'm getting a strong energy of someone who feels like you have grown impatient with this connection here. Your emotions have changed. The Four of Cups in the challenge position, and as well as the Moon, it could be a bit of a tricky energy because it's someone who's not happy with the current dynamic, but there's too much of a focus on what has already occurred, where there could be a new opportunity in front of them, but it's hidden or it's not visible to them because of where they are or what they are focused on. And we have the Moon card here, which is a lot of suppressed emotions. It does touch on intense emotions, but they're not revealing this to you. I also feel like this is someone who is feeling very unhappy on the inside, but they're not, again, showing you this. It doesn't necessarily have to be just, pertaining to this connection here. It could be someone who feels like their finances are not going as, or they're not where they want to be financially, or there's something with their living situation that could have changed with the Six of Pentacles as well. But the Four of Cups is like when you're not present and you're not content with where you are, but instead of addressing the issue, you're feeding into something of the past, or you're using something as a distraction to kind of not accept the reality of a situation. And the Moon card could also touch on illusions, right? So I feel like this could be someone who's in a state of denial, or there's something that they're thinking about and it appears to be true, but it's not true, right? So it's like whether it's negative thoughts or the situation in their mind is very different from, the situation at hand, or maybe your perspective is very different from theirs. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces. There's also a strong energy, when you have the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands in the challenge position, there's a desire for a new beginning, but there's a strong energy of feeling like they are not, worthy enough of this new beginning, or they don't know if what they're planning to do will be enough. Okay, so we have the King of Wands in their feelings and the Sun card. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo. Wow, the Sun and the Moon. There's a lot that's being illuminated to this person in terms of, whether it's secrets, whether it's things that did not make sense to them about this connection in the past. It could even just be an energy of someone who is waking up to what is, right? So going from an avoidant energy or a dismissive energy to, okay, well, I need to accept things for what they are. The King of Wands is someone who is still very attracted to you and very fixated on you. And here's what I'm seeing, guys, like, there's a lot of desire and there's a lot of passion to have a new beginning here. But what I see in the challenge position is someone who doesn't truly believe that they can have what they want. And this is what they're not showing you. This is what's hidden. So we have the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Someone who is going through a lot mentally, emotionally, financially, but they're keeping it under wraps. This person could currently be embarrassed of their circumstances, or there's something that they feel very guilty about. Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles could be, financial constraints, someone who feels very disappointed. They feel like they let you down, but there's some sort of like a mask that they're wearing where they're not showing that on the outside. And the Five of Pentacles, in this card, they are basically outside of a church, right? And it's snowing and it's cold, and it's actually snowing here right now too, guys. So I don't know if it's snowing where you guys are, but anyways, so it's snowing here and they're outside of a church. And the meaning behind this card is if they really wanted to, right, they could just go inside the church and they could ask for assistance, but they're choosing not to. So the reason I'm explaining this to you is some of you feel like this person could pick up the phone and call you, or they could, send you a text message, whatever it is, and let you know how they feel. But you feel like they're intentionally choosing not to do so. So you may view this person as someone who's operating from a space of ego or pride. And there's a lot of disappointment here, and there's a lot of sorrow, but there's a very determined energy when it comes to not wanting to show that on the outside. The King of Wands and the Sun card could also indicate that someone's in the public eye, or they have some sort of image to maintain, where they may quite literally view showing emotion as a sign of weakness. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups followed by the Five of Wands and the potential outcome. Someone who wants to apologize to you, but there's either conflicting opinions around them, or there's something that they're feeding into that's a distraction. And I was picking up on this as I, opened your read here. And the Five of Wands, it is obstacles. It is something that's going on in your environment, but it's usually something that lacks importance. It's usually something you can avoid. And it's definitely something that's more on the petty side of things, right? So there's something that they're feeding into, like a distraction, but they're constantly thinking about coming forward or offering you like a peace offering. So this is what they're going back and forth between in the potential outcome. What's the Knight of Cups? The Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who knows and is acknowledging your worth. Okay. Five of Wands, the Hanged Man. It's either the opinion of others, okay, or there's some sort of chaos or drama in their environment that is causing a huge distraction, or it's causing a stagnant energy here with the Hanged Man. Queen of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is, someone who's coming in to communicate, but I think that this silence or some sort of a pause will continue prior to them coming forward. And it's because of a distraction. It's because they are thinking about you, they're thinking about an apology, but they're also very fixated on the past. And there's something here at hand that they're having a hard time avoiding. It could even be a situation that they're in, whether it be their friends or family or their social circle, but they're having a hard time removing themselves from that situation here. And Knight of Swords could be unexpected communication. And it's definitely someone who wants you to hear their side of things as well. Okay, so let's see if I can get you guys a closing card. Okay. Okay, so we have learn from pain. Pain is a catalyst for change. Allow it to lead you to deeper wisdom and growth. Yeah. What you're accepting, what you're learning, and what you're choosing to allow too, right? Because you're like, okay, this hurts. This is a bittersweet feeling, but this is too heavy of a burden for me to continue to carry it. I feel like this message is very fitting for what's going on in your feelings, allowing things to unfold, accepting the lesson at hand, feeling like you know all you need to know in order to move forward and again, release this very, very heavy energy. I don't feel like it's something that's easy for you to do, but you may feel like it's much needed here. And it says, pain is a catalyst for change. Allow it to lead you to deeper wisdom and growth. So learning from this situation, growing from it, moving forward, you now know what you do not want or what you're not willing to settle for. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.